Welcome back to the SM Auto Reviews. Today, we're taking a different turn once again, stepping away from cars and trucks to focus on something bigger, much bigger. We're diving deep into the might of the seas with the most famous and powerful ships of the United States Navy. These aren't just vessels floating in the ocean. They are symbols of national strength, floating cities of technology and firepower, the ultimate machines of control, presence, and deterrence. From nuclear-powered aircraft carriers to iconic battleships, the U.S. Navy's legendary fleet has shaped history and continues to dominate the waters globally. Let's take a journey through some of the most recognized, respected, and strategically significant ships in the United States naval arsenal. Let's begin with the crown jewel of modern naval engineering, the USS Gerald R Ford CVN-78. This ship is not just a carrier, it's a leap into the future. Commissioned in 2017, it is the lead ship of the Ford-class aircraft carriers and stands as the most advanced warship in the world. With a displacement of over 100,000 tons and stretching more than 1,100 feet, the USS Gerald R Ford is powered by two nuclear reactors that can operate for over 20 years without refueling. It features cutting-edge technology like the electromagnetic aircraft launch system, advanced arresting gear, dual-band radar, and the capability to support over 75 aircraft. What separates the Ford from previous classes is its efficiency: more sorties per day, more automation to reduce crew workload, and advanced systems ready for tomorrow's weapons. It's more than just a warship. It's a statement. Next up is a ship that redefined American sea power in the post-Vietnam era, the USS Nimitz. CVN-68, commissioned in 1975, the USS Nimitz is the first of her class and became the foundation of modern American aircraft carriers. This ship served in multiple conflicts, including operations in the Persian Gulf, Afghanistan, and Iraq. With its steam catapults, vast flight deck, and ability to carry around 90 aircraft, the Nimitz projected unmatched air superiority wherever it went. Even after decades of service, it remains operational, a testimony to its robust design and continuous upgrades. The ship's massive nuclear-powered engines allow it to cruise the globe without stopping for fuel, carrying with it the promise and sometimes the threat of American firepower. It's an icon in naval history and a symbol of reliable force. Continuing the legacy is the USS Dwight D. Eisenhower, CVN-69, nicknamed Ike. This carrier has long been a central figure in U.S. operations in the Middle East, with similar dimensions to the Nimitz. The Eisenhower is a floating military base, carrying thousands of sailors and dozens of aircraft. It has supported everything from peacekeeping missions to direct combat operations, and its presence is enough to alter the balance of power in a region. Its namesake, President Dwight D. Eisenhower, was known for leading Allied forces in World War II, and the ship that bears his name continues to serve with distinction. Then we have the USS Carl Vinson, CVN-70, a name that became globally recognized in 2011 when it was the ship from which Osama bin Laden's body was buried at sea. Beyond that moment in history, the Carl Vinson has a long record of deployments across the Pacific, acting as a critical presence in times of tension with North Korea and China. With full nuclear power and the ability to launch multi-role aircraft, like the F/A-18 Super Hornet and F-35C, the Carl Vinson is a testament to how mobile, flexible, and powerful American sea forces can be. Another iconic vessel is the USS Enterprise, CVN-65. While it was decommissioned in 2017, it remains one of the most historically significant ships in U.S. Navy history. Nicknamed Big E, the Enterprise was the world's first nuclear-powered aircraft carrier and served for over 50 years. It participated in every major conflict from the Cuban Missile Crisis to the war in Afghanistan. The Enterprise carried an aura of legend, due in part to its size, its endurance, and its role in countless historical operations. It proved that nuclear power could not only change how ships operated, but how wars were fought and won, transitioning to a newer era again. Let's talk about the upcoming USS John F. Kennedy, CVN-79, still under construction and expected to be commissioned. soon. This ship will be the second Ford-class carrier and promises to build upon the innovations introduced by the Gerald R Ford, with a similar focus on automation, advanced power systems, and readiness for future weapons and drones. The Kennedy will help maintain American dominance at sea into the middle of the 21st century. Now, let's explore the ship that represents more than just hardware, the USS Missouri. BB-63, this Iowa-class battleship was not an aircraft carrier but played a pivotal role in history. It was on the deck of the USS Missouri in Tokyo Bay that Japan formally surrendered to the Allied forces, ending World War II. Armed with massive 16-inch guns and heavy armor, the Missouri was a fortress on the sea. After being decommissioned, then reactivated during the 1980s, and eventually retired again in the 1990s, it now serves as a museum ship in Pearl Harbor. The Missouri isn't just a ship. It's a floating monument to the power and legacy of American resolve. Another legendary ship that earned its fame in World War II is the USS Arizona. Though it was tragically sunk during the attack on Pearl Harbor in 1941, the Arizona has remained a solemn symbol of sacrifice. Today, its wreck lies beneath the water with a memorial built above it. Visitors from around the world come to pay their respects to the sailors who lost their lives. While it may no longer be in service, the USS Arizona continues to teach history and honor the fallen. We also must include the USS Theodore Roosevelt, CVN-71, another Nimitz-class aircraft carrier that has been instrumental in various global operations. From the Gulf War to humanitarian missions, the Roosevelt represents the balance between combat readiness and diplomacy. With full nuclear propulsion and the capability to respond quickly anywhere in the world, it remains one of the most reliable tools in the U.S. Navy's arsenal. The USS George HW Bush, CVN-77, is the final Nimitz-class carrier and brings many improvements over earlier models, including better living conditions for the crew and upgraded flight control systems. Commissioned in 2009, it was built to bridge the gap between the older Nimitz class and the new Ford class carriers. It has played a major role in the fight against terrorism, particularly in support of operations in the Middle East. Let's not forget the amphibious assault ships like the USS America, LHA-6, though not an aircraft carrier by classification. It carries F-35BS helicopters and Marines, allowing it to launch quick-strike missions from the sea. These ships are essential in crisis response, humanitarian missions, and amphibious assaults, showing the Navy's ability to project power not only in air and sea, but also on land. Another modern marvel is the USS Zumwalt, DDG-100. This destroyer looks like something out of science fiction with its stealthy, angular design. Built with cutting-edge technologies, it has advanced radar, guided missiles, and systems that allow for automation of many tasks. While it has faced criticism for cost and complexity, the Zumwalt still represents a bold leap forward in naval design and capability. Now, let's return once again to the USS Gerald R Ford. This ship doesn't just represent power, it's designed for the future. Every system on board, from its electromagnetic catapults to its dual-band radar, is built not only for what exists today, but for weapons and aircraft that haven't even been invented yet. It's capable of launching more flights per day, requires fewer crew members, and has greater endurance than any carrier that came before it. When we look at the ship, we don't just see steel and technology, we see what it means for a nation to stay ahead of its time. These ships, some active, some decommissioned, some still in construction, represent more than just naval might. They are chapters in the story of global power, innovation, sacrifice, and leadership. From World War II to today's modern conflicts, they've played roles in history that can't be overstated. Whether carrying planes into battle, delivering aid to disaster zones, or simply sailing through international waters to show presence, each of these vessels carries not just sailors but a message. Thanks for watching this special feature here on SM Auto Reviews. We hope you enjoyed this tour through America's most iconic naval ships. If you found it fascinating to see how engineering and technology extend far beyond cars and into the oceans, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. We'll be back soon with more deep dives into the world's most powerful machines on land, in the air, and across the seas.